So I just watched Bride Wars. I don't know why. So the movie opens with these two young girls in a flashback. They see a wedding at the Plaza Hotel, and now they are obsessed with the idea of having a wedding in June at the Plaza Hotel. That is their only goal in life for these two people. And we could head to when they're grown up, and they're played by Kate Hudson and Anne Hathaway. And both of them have boyfriends. Kate Hudson is a high-power lawyer. Anne Hathaway is working as a school teacher. And they're still best friends even after all this time, and as ever, the one thing they want is to get married. That's the only thing that matters to them, is getting married and having the perfect June wedding at the Plaza Hotel. I know it feels like I'm just keep repeating the same point over and over, but that's all this movie is about. Get used to it. So one day they're at Kate Hudson's place looking through some stuff, and they find hidden in her boyfriend's clothes a jewellery box. And so they immediately say, oh, he's going to propose, he must be getting engaged, and so excited, but they don't open the box because it's like, no, the first time you see that ring should be the time he gives it to you. And, but then she immediately, even though he hasn't proposed to her yet, goes and tells her friends that she is engaged, and tells her brother that she is engaged. But so far the boyfriend is unaware of it. But then while she's so excited over this but still waiting for the actual proposal, Anne Hathaway's boyfriend, who is played by Chris Pratt, in a, if you really want to see Chris Pratt before Guardians of the Galaxy, this is certainly one example of him. Chris Pratt proposes to Anne Hathaway by putting a ring inside a fortune cookie, which I've got a very elaborate way to do it. That's one way to go about it. But yeah, now she's engaged, and Kate Hudson is annoyed that Anne Hathaway is technically engaged before her. So she goes and she confronts her boyfriend and tells him, well, are you going to propose to me or not? I mean, I found the box, and yeah, if you could have waited just a little while longer, I would have done it. But then he proposes, and yeah, they're going to get married. So they both go to see this wedding planner, who is the best wedding planner in the world, I guess. And she says, there is only 2 dates at the Plaza in June, even though June, they say, is only about 3 weeks away, so it's not a lot of time to plan a wedding, but whatever. And so there's 2 dates. There's there's 2 on the 6th of June available, and 1 on the 27th of June. So naturally they say, oh, I'll have the 6th, she'll have the 27th, it'll all be fine. And they're out looking at wedding dresses. They get a call saying that the secretary accidentally mixed it up, so now they are both on the same day. Oh no, what problems would this cause? What fresh hell have I got myself into? So they strong-arm the secretary and force her to tell them where the other bride is so that they can go and try and convince her to change the date. She doesn't want to, and so they argue with her for a bit, but then one of us is going to have to change the day. I mean, how are we going to get out of this? Seems to me there's a very simple solution. Just have a joint wedding. Just both of you get married in one ceremony, have one big party together. You're best friends. Surely that's the ultimate goal. You're both such wedding obsessed people. Surely the greatest thing you could ever do is plan your wedding together. And even the fiancés of the movie both say, yeah, well, we should just have a double wedding, have a big party, it'll be good. People in the movie suggest a way to get out of the movie's one big contrivance, but for no reason the 2 brides say, no, I want it to be my day. But they both say at first, okay, well, we shouldn't do anything until we have decided which way one of us is going to go. But of course, Kate Hudson is already starting to look at save the date cards. When Anne Hathaway learns that, she sends out an email to everyone saying that she is definitely having it on that date. So now they're both definitely having it on that date, and they argue about it while having their joint bridal shower. And they start threatening each other's weddings. And it's like, why, who's meant to care about these white people problems? Really? So now they have no maids of honour each, because they were going to be each other's maids of honour, of course. But they don't have a maid of honour now, and apparently their other friends are staying out of it, not picking sides. So they have no one suitable for maid of honour. So the lawyer, Kate Hudson, ends up using her secretary, who's a guy. Okay. And Anne Hathaway picks her drunk, obnoxious, loud teacher companion that she doesn't like. Colleague, that's the better word. Most of the rest of the movie is them interfering with each other's things of wedding prep, and it is so boring. I mean, I'm not interested in seeing Kate Hudson eating cake. Because that's one of Anne Hathaway's things, is she keeps sending Kate Hudson food to try and make her too fat to fit into her Vera Wang dress, because you don't alter a Vera Wang dress. You alter yourself for Vera. You see the kind of thing I put myself through. And it's all stupid stuff like Kate Hudson changes the strength of the tan that Anne Hathaway puts on, so she's like completely orange. So then in return Anne Hathaway changes Kate Hudson's hair dye so that her hair goes blue. Although both of those things are resolved by the time they get to the wedding, so it doesn't really matter. And then Kate Hudson learns that Anne Hathaway is going to have a video montage at a wedding, and so she decides that she's going to replace the DVD with an embarrassing DVD of Anne Hathaway on her spring break. Okay. And along the way they tried to plant seeds that Chris Pratt and Anne Hathaway's relationship isn't as strong as they thought it was. Like, this starts to show signs of weakness here and there. Although the first we learn of this, we are told in a narration by a character, but in fact, the narration of the movie is done by the wedding planner. So why is she narrating it? Why is there any narration at all? And did you not think that the audience would be able to notice the two were arguing, so you had to explain that sometimes relationships just don't end up working out? But eventually, after all this nonsense and rambling everywhere, we get to the wedding. Or the weddings. Kate Hudson has had a change of heart because, she's been through so much and she's so... But she decides she doesn't want to sabotage the video. So she gives her secretary, maid of honour, the proper video that it should be, and says, "Oh, go change it back. Make sure it doesn't happen." And he goes and he's like, just immediately throws the real video in the bin and goes, "You'll thank me for this later." I was like, why do you care? You're only there because you're getting paid. But yeah, it's the wedding day, and they're both stood outside, and they both see each other before they're about to go into their weddings, and it's meant to be a nice moment, but it's like, you haven't earned any emotion from me when your idea of good thing to put in movie is, hey, let's make Anne Hathaway orange. Then Anne Hathaway goes in, and it's the embarrassing video of her on her spring break showing. Oh no! So she gets furious, runs out the hall, runs across into the other wedding and starts fighting with Kate Hudson, and the guys at the wedding are just like, no, let them fight. Well, they fight for a little bit and then they decide, no, it's not worth it. Chris Pratt starts acting like a really controlling douche and generally not very good, and Anne Hathaway realises, no, we've not been working out for a while, we shouldn't be getting married, we're not the same people anymore. And so they're not getting married. So now she's free to sit and enjoy the rest of Kate Hudson's wedding. And then during the reception she starts dancing with Kate Hudson's brother. And that's kind of the end. It cuts then to 1 year later. The two of them are meeting up, and Anne Hathaway has now married Kate Hudson's brother. Didn't wait long to do that. And now they're both pregnant, and they're both due on the same day. The end. And it's a really dull movie. There's not a lot in terms of interest. Like, the characters are boring, the comedy isn't funny, there's just nothing there worthwhile. I don't think this movie was ever particularly a success. It was just one that I need something that I can watch quickly so I can make a video and get it out on time, and this is what was on Netflix. So thanks for that. Honestly, I can think of nothing worth watching about this one. So my final thoughts on Bride Wars is just don't.